Dr. Karmaura, the President of the Center for Bhutan Studies and GNH Research. Tantric masters and Vajrayana practitioners may be able to fathom the relevance of me speaking today. I certainly can't. As a layperson, I really am a fish out of water. But I do know one thing. When Tashokarma Ura wants something done, he gets it done. And so this is why I'm here. Your Eminencies, Venerable Lams, Rinpoches, Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to welcome all of you to the opening of the International Conference on Vajrayana Buddhism, organized by the Center for Bhutan Studies and GNH and the Central Monastic Order. On behalf of the government, I feel very heartened by the presence of so many dignitaries this evening to welcome the distinguished participants from abroad. Over the last few days, more than 250 participants from 33 countries have arrived in our country for the conference. The Vajrayana conference was announced in September 2017. Within 5 months, these many participants from 33 different countries were confirmed for this conference. I think we should give Tashokarma Ura and the Center for Bhutan Studies and GNH Research the added responsibility of running our tourism industry. You have converged on Thimphu, coming here all the way from Austria, Australia, Bangladesh, Cameroon, Canada, China, Czech Republic, Finland, France, Germany, Hong Kong, Hungary, India, Italy, Japan, Malaysia, Myanmar, the Netherlands, Nepal, Norway, Philippines, Portugal, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Slovenia, South Korea, Sweden, Taiwan, Thailand, UK, USA, and Vietnam. And we know why Argentina is not represented this year. I would like to express my deep appreciation for the time and effort you have made to be with us in Bhutan for this important celebratory, academic, and spiritual gathering. In many ways, the series of conferences on Vajrayana is very special, if not unique in the world, bringing academics and practitioners together to share their experiences and findings. Discussions and debates in the conference and publications of the proceedings thereafter have contributed to an outstanding formation of a bridge between individuals in the academia and spirituality. I am particularly pleased to note that the esteemed Central Monastic Body and the Center for Bhutan Studies and GNH have been cooperating very closely in this endeavor. They have worked together this time as well as in the last conference. This year too, the commitment of the Central Monastic Body is amply demonstrated in their positive roles in every aspect of the organization of this conference. Blessed by His Holiness the Jekempo, the Supreme Abbot of Bhutan, their eminencies, the masters of the Central Monastic Body, have played a vital role in guiding the structure of the conference. The broader aim behind the series of conferences is to explore social, economic, spiritual, and cultural configurations of society that favor the realization of the Vajrayana view of human potentials. The fact that Vajrayana ideas prevailed in Bhutan since the 8th century in an uninterrupted way means that certain types of ideas became more dominant than others in Bhutan over the millennium. There are now many other competing views of ideals of human existence and potentials which drive the activities of the peoples and states. But the Vajrayana view of the human potentials and the methods to realize them was what Guru Rinpoche brought to us in the Himalayas and Tibet from India in the 8th century. Part of the view and method of wisdom he brought was an approach to structuring the mind towards non-duality and the cultivation of a different kind of consciousness. The Vajrayana teachings on the ideals of human existence and potentials were further consolidated by the revered founder of Bhutan, Shabdu Ngawan Namgyel. Our country was forged out of smaller valley kingdoms by uniting them into a nation by the revered Shabdu Rinpoche in 1626. As a Vajrayana monk, statesman himself, the ultimate and ideal purpose of founding a Buddhist nation state out of smaller kingdoms was to not only promote mindfulness, but non-dual mindfulness among the citizens as a part of realization of human potential. Vajrayana, with its root in esoteric Indian Buddhist traditions, was introduced in Bhutan by the great Indian saint, Guru Padmasambhava. Guru came at a moment in history of Bhutan, in the 8th century, when tantric practices dominated Buddhism in India. The word Vajrayana itself has appeared in the tantric texts only in the late 7th century, although tantric texts appeared first in the 3rd century. Guru Rinpoche's coming to Bhutan repeatedly and to Tibet was a tremendous socio-economic and political consequences beyond his introduction of the sutra and the mantra. Because of the spread of Buddhism by Guru Rinpoche and his disciples and their disciples during both the first and second transmissions, a particular worldview took hold that influenced polity and culture. The stress on cultivation of peace within people led broadly to peace in communities. Guru Rinpoche's coming to the Himalayas also led to the spread of Enlightenment education through translations of Indian texts into classical Tibetan, which are read increasingly widely today among scholars. Guru himself was a colossal engine of translation and transmission of works from the Indian civilization to the Himalayas. Among the sutras, some of the classic authors studied today, like Vasubandhu, Nagarjuna, Santa Rakshita, Kamalashila, Asvangosha, Chandrakirti, Dinaga, Asanga, Shantideva, Dharmakirti, and Aryadeva were translated at a time in Same under Guru Rinpoche with the patronage of the then Tibetan emperor. Through the transmission of learning based on these classical texts, the same ideas about cosmology and causation that prevailed in the Indian civilization framed the views of most Bhutanese until Western schooling started in the 1960s. Guru Padmasambhava thus changed the spiritual landscape of Bhutan and the Himalayas, for which he is known as the second Buddha in this part of the world. Guru Rinpoche and his disciples started a profound spiritual reorientation of the Himalayas over the last 1,000 years. Of a shorter time scale, but of great significance, has also been the establishment of diplomatic relations between Bhutan and India. It was an event that sparked profound changes in the social and economic spheres of Bhutan. In 1968, Bhutan ended its many centuries of self-imposed isolation and established diplomatic relations with India to pave the way for development in all spheres of modernization. The initiative was launched by His Majesty Jigme Dorji Wangchuk, the visionary third king of Bhutan. Our successive kings have nurtured this important strategic relationship. Our country and people have been fortunate to have great kings, without whom we would be at much loss. the much respected 13th Prime Minister of India, Shri I.K. Gujral, compared His Majesty Jigme Singye Wangchuk to a man who has the attributes of Plato's philosopher king. The long and cherished reign of the fourth king, infused with charismatic leadership, set the bar very high for any leader. Yet His Majesty the present king, who came to the throne in 2006, also began a new era of an equally visionary way. He introduced parliamentary democracy in 2008 and became the first constitutional monarch of our country. The people and the government, having always benefited from his wisdom, look up to His Majesty the King for his overall leadership and guidance on nation building. Among the priorities of His Majesty the King, as a manifestation of hope and unity of the people, deepening Indo-Bhutan friendship is a central one. Because of the importance of the good relationship with India, His Majesty the King, as Crown Prince, studied at the National Defense College, India's highest international strategic institute for military and security affairs. Over the past 50 years, the bilateral relations have matured and sustained with regular exchange of high-level visits between the two countries. His Majesty the King has, therefore, desired that the 50th anniversary of the signing of the diplomatic relations between India and Bhutan be commemorated through a series of celebratory events in 2018. This Vajrayana Buddhism Conference is a part of the many events to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the exemplary Indo-Bhutan relationship. In this context, we are honored to have with us His Excellency Ambassador Jaideep Sarkar, Ambassador of India to Bhutan, whose term in Bhutan has witnessed continued excellent relationship between Bhutan and India. We are honored to have him address this august gathering this evening. As I've already mentioned, Buddhism is a major element in the shared heritage between India and Bhutan, as well as Bhutan and other countries. Buddhism remains a uniting factor stretching back thousands of years. Conferences of this nature will only contribute to strengthening a broader base in the relationship between and among the people of all nations. Present among us in the hall today, more than 18% of the conference participants are Indian citizens of various backgrounds. Academics, lamas, art conservators, medical doctors, nurses, business managers, researchers, and so on and so forth. I am pleased to acknowledge the presence of Chabgen Drikun Rinpoche, author, educationist, lama, and founder of the Drikun Kajub Institute. It is also a pleasure to acknowledge the presence of Lama Lobsang, who is the president of the International Buddhist Confederation and the president of Asoka Mission in New Delhi. The conference is enriched by the presence of many other spiritual masters and abbots from Cambodia and China, India, Mongolia, Sri Lanka, Taiwan, Thailand, and Vietnam. I apologize for not being able to acknowledge your distinguished presence individually due to constraints of time. As I went over the detailed program of the conference, I find that it builds significantly on the past conference. The presentations that are scheduled will provide rich insight into Vajrayana Buddhism's history, practice, and contemporary relevance. I'm confident that over the next 3 days, the exchange among you about Vajrayana's historical evolution, experiences, and ideas will prove to be helpful in the many applications in the diverse aspects of modern life. Panel topics are relevant to certain important roles of Vajrayana in modern society. Topics you will discuss include health and healing, yoga, neuroscience of visualization, enlightened femininity, ethics of Vajrayana, mantras, and rituals. There is also a very refreshing panel on contemporary practice of Vajrayana Buddhism in Malaysia, Finland, Burma, India, Japan, Korea, and Mongolia. This will give us a perspective on its adaptations to other cultures and societies. I feel these panels contain potential that compel applications to a rapidly transforming world. To conclude, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, the opening panel tomorrow morning by ceremonies and dances leading to a panel of integrative view of Vajrayana will frame the subject matter of the conference. The closing panel will round up on the various kinds of knowledges and intelligences from a Vajrayana viewpoint that we must strengthen to be optimal being with optimal balance. Your program shows that the extraordinary lineup of academic panels over the course of the next 3 days will be followed by a full day's excursion on March 31st to Punakha, the winter seat of Bhutan's central monastic body. There, His Eminence the Doji Lebe, or Vajra Acharya, will receive you in audience. We are also grateful to His Eminence the Leso Lebe for introducing you to the 9 meditational methods for bringing the mind to a state of lucid calm in the Punakha Dzong itself. They came, they saw, they left. But leaving is not good enough. So I want to make a humble proposition that during the conference you consider establishing an international Vajrayana center. As the last Vajrayana surviving kingdom, I would humbly offer to host such a center in Bhutan. But you must bless it, and you must work together with us to develop the center for ourselves and for the future generations, for the world. I hope you will enjoy this conference. I hope you will enjoy your stay in our country. I thank you for your kind attention and wish you Tashidale.